Hello, welcome to the last session of the program. This is going to be about measurements. My name is Vesna. I will be a moderator of this session together with Krajko, and we have honored to have 4 presenters here, and we're also going to squeeze in the closing plenary at the end. So, to start, Vladica Tintor is going to talk about the internet quality measurements.
No, this one is okay. Okay. Hello to everyone. My name is Vladica Tintor. I'm Deputy Director at Regulatory Agency for Electronic Communication and Postal Services. We are a regulatory body for telecommunication, actually, here in Serbia. And I will give some brief overview of internet quality measurements here in Serbia, what is current status and what is plans for the near future. I think we are all aware, or we are not aware of net neutrality, and I will not go into the details. I just want to emphasize that quality service is one of the main issues regarding the net neutrality, and that is why we have started to measure this quality. It is also accordance to the law on electronic communication and the bylaw that we have. There are 3 ways how we measure the quality of service in Serbia. The first way is by gathering the reports that are sent annually by the internet service providers, and we collect those reports and analyze them. The second one is the specialized software that measure the quality of internet service, and it's ongoing process that hopefully will be finished by the end of this year. And the third way is measurement at the user premises by the specialized equipment for the quality of service. So we have rule book for the quality of service, and it has a detailed list of parameters that are followed in order to see what quality of service in telecommunications are in Serbia. So we follow not just services, but the networks also. The services are voice service, fixed network, mobile network, VoIP, broadband service, media content transmission service, and 2 networks, the mobile network and the CDMA network, because we have specific license in 400 megahertz for fixed wireless access, and that is why we also follow the quality of this network. So what is interesting for this presentation is actually this broadband access. So this is the list in this bylaw of the parameters that are followed and that every internet service provider in Serbia must follow and give us and annually give us this report. There's, I think, 7 parameters that are that actually rely on the relationship between the operator and the end user. It's service supply time, bill correctness, customer complaints, customer relations, professionalism, bill correctness, response time. So this is not, let's say, the real quality of service, but it has the meaning of the how operator is behaving towards the client. And there are 4 additional parameters that we are focused on. It's throughput, delay, jitter, and packet loss. The second way how we can follow the quality of service is by measurement software. There are lots of softwares available. The most popular one is speed test, how you can test your connection line. But we are looking for some more complex and more detailed software that could be that could give us a referent measurements and that could give us some additional options, such as the access line, either mobile, wireless line, fixed line, according to the different operators, according to the different periods of year, according to the frequency bands when we are talking about mobile access, and according to the different technologies. So the basic idea is to cover not all, but most of the technologies that all of us are using when we want to access to the internet. When we are talking about this software, we follow actually the Barrack Recommendation. I don't know how many of you knows what Barrack is. Okay. Well, it's actually the board of European regulators for electronic communications. So I think this is the first acronym that is in this said in this conference, right? Or it's 1,000. Nevertheless, it's kind of group of regulators on European level that is trying to harmonize the regulation on in European Union. And they also said that these 4 parameters, the upload and download speed, delay, jitter, and packet loss, is one of the key elements that every customer should have as a result of its measurement. And in next 2 slides, I will give an example of this, let's say, more complex software. It's an example from our colleagues from Austria. The RTR, it's Austrian regulator, and their the software that they use. Because with this software, there are 2. It's actually tried to get a win-win situation. From one point, it's how the regulator looks on the results that are gathered, and this is actually let's say, the last result, because every measurement has its coordination on the map, so you can get some kind of a broadband map actually after after there are many measurements taken in the last period. So you can get it as a good point for additional strategy of development. On the other hand, when we look from the customer point of view, it's very good as a to negotiate with your operator regarding the contract that the client has with the operator. The first 2 pictures are from the browser, so it's kind of fixed line, ADSL or cable internet, so it looks like some kind of a speed test. And the last 3 is actually the mobile application, so you can also test your mobile internet. And the third way how we can measure the quality of service is actually the most exact way, and that is to put specialized equipment at the site of the client and to measure the real quality of service. Currently we have set of equipment. It's Edgeon JDSU DNA Pro triple play analyzer, and test set also JDSU Smart Class. And this is for the fixed services. For the mobile and wireless services, we have specialized vehicle which can analyze many technologies that are mostly used in the mobile, and also the Wi-Fi and let's say all wireless technologies. So also, like previous said, for this equipment, these four KPIs are actually the most important: throughput in kilobits per second, frame delay in milliseconds, frame delay variation also in milliseconds, and frame loss ratio. Just in short, how we do this. Actually, we put, this is one example when there is a symmetric traffic between the client and operator. It is not common, but it could be in practice. So we put one equipment at the customer side, the other at the provider side. Then we simulate traffic. It goes to the side B. Then the same traffic is returning back. So, and then we compare these results and through round trip results, and then get the measurements. The most common is asymmetric mode, when upload and download speeds are not equal. So the different traffic is actually simulated from one side and from the other side, and then the results are gathered. And this is these measurements are actually in accordance with RFC 2544. And this is the list actually of services that people usually do, use. So it's actually the TV and VoIP, which is most common, and the minimum throughput and the frame size of the bytes that are analyzed. I will not go into the details. You have a presentation. So also, what is interesting, this sensitivity of different services when we do this measurement. So, for example, when we are talking about VoIP service, the required throughput has a very low sensitivity because it doesn't have much traffic. But when we are talking delay or jitter, it's very high sensitivity because you can't understand. Either you are annoyed because there is a delay, or you can't understand good the other person because of the frame delay. But if we are talking about email, the sensitivity on delay and jitter is very low because you don't need immediate response from the server regarding the emails, but the frame loss sensitivity to frame loss is very high because you lost data. This first part is actually when we measured the different services separately, and we also can make a measurement on the bundled service. It's according to the IT recommendation Y1564, where usually 3 services are bundled: the VoIP, the data, and some media service. And actually, at the same time, the all 3 services are measured and the results are gathered. So all these ways are used in order to, from the client side, to get the pressure on the operator to follow the contracts that he has signed with the client. And also it helps the regulator to get actually evidence in order to when there are 2 sides, in a conflict, to resolve it, and also to help us to see what is the current situation of the quality of service in Serbia and how we can improve it in the future. So I believe that is all for this presentation.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Please, Wes.
I have a mandatory question, of course, coming from me. Did you consider using RIPE Atlas for the first type of the measurements, which is for your ISPs?
To be frank, no.
We'll have a talk later.
Definitely.
Any other question? Barry.
Yes, actually one question.
Please, your name.
Berislav Todorovic. Sorry. One question. You are basically focusing yourself on measuring throughput and comparing it whether it matches a certain SLA given by the customer. So you're installing a 2 pair of probes and so on. First question is, did you consider using some client-side apps that are very popular these days to provide some measurements? That's one of the things.
I didn't get it. Can you repeat it?
Did you consider using any client-side apps to provide some kind of measurements?
No, we are planning to build a specialized app that client could use.
To basically check
yes, to basically check the throughput.
Okay. The second question is, there is a lot of discussion on net neutrality and cost markings. What is, if you can give me your view on that, and do you have any plans on basically checking if the operators are treating everyone according to the net neutrality? If they don't imply any costs or any mechanism to prioritize clients?
Currently in law on telecommunication, on electronic communication, only quality of service is mentioned. There is no any additional word about net neutrality. So it is kind of questionable if we are going into some additional parameters right now. That is why I can't answer it right now, actually.
Actually, to rephrase the question, it is when you're speaking about checking of the SLA parameters and service classes, you can, the operator is allowed to, for instance, provide VPN services, closed VPN services using different cost markings, but the internet access should be provided only in one class. So that was the question, if you plan to check on that one.
These always have additional capacity, if I can say like that, but only 4 these parameters are followed right now.
Okay, thank you. Jan wants to say.
Jan, please.
George, you mentioned net neutrality is not in your law. Any idea of putting net neutrality in the law? We have one, and Netherlands also have one, and we are doing great. You should also.
You should ask that question 2 presentations before me when the Ministry of the Telecommunication was here.
Any other question? Just one short question from me. Did you do any kind of measurement, initial measurement of the quality of the internet in Serbia?
Yes.
Or just do you have the result which can be published?
Not on the national scale. It's not on the national scale, but we have with one operator we did measurements.
And?
Full stop.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vladica Tintor, for interesting presentation.